Hello, everyone. We're back.
We're back.
Holy Try Football Podcast, brought to you by StreamYard.
But as your Mark announced, they're back. Colorado being back. He's so smoked.
Colorado being back. There's a Big 12 team that could be back. We found out they're even money tonight. So it's me, a West Virginia Blue State Captain, Blue State, the Commonwealth, Pennsylvania, to my west. Eberg, what's up?
I am ready. The calendar is turned to August, which means, as it was said earlier today on the show I was listening to, people start caring about football again, which isn't necessarily true. I did have.
We care about football all year long.
Yeah, most people care about football a lot of the year, but I guess when it comes to booking guests on shows, there is an uptick once the calendar turns to August.
You know, my interest, most of my interest lies in things outside of the football season.
Can is actually becoming his less interested, the least interested he is in football all year as the season approaches.
Yeah, right. Oh, man.
Yeah, and that nice long-haired gentleman to my east, Kent.
Oh.
How are we?
Oh, it's shorter than it was just a couple days ago. I just got a haircut on Sunday. But yes, growing it out these days. Becoming untenable at times. Gets in my eyes. I don't like it, but trying something new. Weather, there's a little nip in the air every morning. You're out there, 7, 8 o'clock. You can feel it. It's perfect. Weather is great right now. We broke through the heat waves and we're into nice highs of 81, 82. I will take that all day long. And it just means autumn's right around the corner. I cannot wait.
Yes. As Dan just alluded to, and as I mentioned, I think in our thread, the calendar did turn to August today, which for me, every year means football season. It's time to hunker down. The summers for baseball will always be disinterested, but goes to big moments at Yankee Stadium.
I'll be there again come the end of August. If anybody's there, come give me a shout.
Something big will happen. We'll have a cycle, a 4-homer game, no-hit or something. But as the calendar does turn to August, you gotta work in the football. And now we got what 20? I don't know. I think I'm up tomorrow on the countdown. So
we are 24 tomorrow, 25 right now.
Oh, I am tomorrow. Yes. Yeah. Could be. It won't be Carnell Williams. Won't be Revis. Was 25 in college or 24?
I think he's 25. Correct.
So, yeah.
You are correct.
Anyways, what we're saying is
no show Moreno. Could be no show.
Could be. We're close to week 0. The countdown is on, and tonight we're just gonna catch up on things and spit out some things to top the dome. Like who's
Little round table.
Like what's our exacta for the Independents? I think I'm gonna key in Notre Dame on top and then
use Con number 2.
Yeah, Con.
Con gotta be Con.
Con number 2.
I'm not even gonna box it. No boxing there.
I would like to review their schedule as we're talking here.
They play Tennessee. Con plays Tennessee.
Oh
man, the November 4th date.
Oh, they play Tennessee before. Is that the week preceding the Georgia showdown?
Let me see. So normally that's reserved for Georgia State. No, okay, I think that was opening week. They had the tussle with Georgia State. So no, that is no, Ken. That is sandwiched in between road trips to Lexington and Columbia, Missouri.
Oh, that's the
Fayetteville Field.
Look ahead at your own peril, Heupel.
That's right.
If you missed out on the $5 Tennessee tickets, get some for Con.
Amazing.
Yeah, that might be the actual price.
if they lose a Con, that's true.
Yes.
Or for the Con game, both. That could be both prices.
A lot of the offseason. Just spit out whatever you was.
Let's jump right in. We got the ACC, Dan's home conference here. A lot of interesting stuff. A lot of steam on. A lot of interest in Florida State. I think, in my opinion, it might be a little misplaced. I know people will push and bump on this, but who exactly did they beat last year? I mean, FSU Michael You guys had a nice season, great, and it was out of nowhere, but you still lost to NC State, Clemson, and who was the third one in that stretch? I forget. Oh no, I can't remember.
Did they both like lead the week?
And the game of wave, right?
I think they lost
I
the break.
forget. But
That started the skid. Other than that,
they beat the LSU team before they B. Kelly really got it going, but I don't know. They've got the quarterback back, which is pretty good. They got a ton of tall ass receivers, which I think makes it easy for Travis. You just toss it right up there. Johnny Wilson, and then the transfer from Michigan State as well down there, Keon Coleman. So they got some weapons, but I don't know. I wasn't all that impressed with them. They got Berwick's very own pride of Central PA there with Verse coming back. I don't know. I'm not wholly buying into it. I think they'll have a nice season, 9 or 10 wins, but I don't know if I'm ready to buy in on them taking the next step. I think they're preseason number 7, even ahead of Penn State, which I don't think is correct. But I'm not a Penn State fan.
There's the.
I don't know. Where do you guys sit on Florida State? There are a lot of people just follow the thread. Just follow the thread, and you get back to it always leads back to me not being.
No, yeah, I think they'll be pretty good. It's that first game obviously could be a little bit tough. With LSU, and outside of that though, I mean they could 10 wins is definitely in play. I don't know. I mean, with what the hell is Woke going to look like? It's so much different now as one big collective standings because you kind of focus on how these teams do against their own division and pay barely attention. Now you just have to
just pick the top 2.
Yep. So it's.
How do you feel about that, Dan? Do you like that?
I think it makes more sense, yeah. And they're going to play teams more often as long as the ACC lasts or whatever iteration the ACC lasts. So I prefer it makes more sense to me. Personally, I don't love it as a Pitt fan because it was a little bit easier to navigate the Postal. But no, yeah, I think that that's more fair. And again, the big thing, which a lot of fans tend to care about, I wouldn't put myself as part of those, but keep the schedule moving. Play more teams more often. This is the first time Pitt will be playing Florida State at home since the first year they're in the ACC, and I think I heard Pitt's never actually hosted Wake Forest.
It's the fateful Jameis game. Are you saying?
For Florida State, it's the first time since that game. But then, so it was just that was a lot of complaints I heard through the grapevine. It doesn't bother me nearly as much as it bothers some people, it seems. But I think I can only say I would be pretty surprised actually if they beat LSU. The way, although it's a week 1 game, do they favor that game? I feel like they probably would be, right?
LSU, I feel like should be.
Anyway, it shouldn't be a giant spread either way.
Yeah, and they're technically they're closer to home, right? This is the one in Orlando, not in New Orleans. Last year's was in New Orleans.
So this is a weird, and that game week 1 last year was so bizarre. But outside of that, I wouldn't even including
where do you think they're in Charlotte at the end of the year?
Florida State, yes, I would put them in it. I don't think they're going to be the new Miami where I'm always putting them in there, but I think for this year, yes.
LSU might put it half.
There you go.
Speaking of the new Miami, how about the new Miami this year? No coordinators back. They seem excited. Van Dyke is back.
I am done with them.
You are.
After picking it, I mean, I think I picked North Carolina to win it one time. Preseason, the Postal. I think every other year I pick Miami. It's just, and now with this built-in, at least for this season, Clemson and Florida State, arms race, and it certainly is reflected in the odds. They're pretty close, 165 and 190.
What's the over/under on Miami wins here? Let me see.
I don't know what that is. I don't have those pulled up.
Yeah.
I would guess 8.
That'd be way too many. I feel like.
You think it would be too many?
Yeah. Let me see here. College
Well,
football win totals. Let's see.
Look at the first. Check their September schedule, and then
Well, they play Texas A&M. I know that.
I know they A&M, yeah, but the Bethune-Cookman, Miami of Ohio, and Temple.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech's going to be in transition again.
And then they get
That'll be
into
my
that
guess.
stretch there. Yeah. Let's see. Miami, they got 7.5 with the plus money on the over. So most people thinking under.
I would lean over on that.
Okay.
Louisville, for whatever reason, getting some love. I haven't even taken the time to look at that roster because that team was not very good last year, and going through coaching
Well,
change.
it's because of the Braum. People are,
I
buying
know,
Braum.
but it's a bit of an upgrade. And then I feel like they made some moves through the portal, which can be said for every team.
Every team, I believe.
Let's see if I can find something here quickly. Well-researched show here.
Yes.
Outside of that, though, I think it's going to be just a goulash, if you will, of the other teams.
Well, how do you feel
Somebody-
about the Pack?
A couple teams will win 8 games. A couple teams win 4 games.
People love the Pack going into last year, and I don't know if they disappointed.
Yeah, that's
but,
tough one. I feel like that was a bit of a balloon pop.
Yeah, they didn't. That last year was their window, right?
Yeah, but we know what quarterback is this year. Armstrong.
Strong. Yeah, they did pick up the Strong, right?
He's not.
I think the last one before the big one in Clem is Carolina, right? They have the presumed number 2 quarterback that will be in the draft next year. How do we feel about them? It feels like Max lost a little bit of that momentum that he had at the beginning of his tenure. Drake is obviously still amazing, but you feel like he's got enough around him? No. You're not buying in.
I think it'll be fun to watch. Looks like right now they're 4th choice.
Yep.
Depending where you look, could be 3rd choice.
I think you're going in and out, AY. So,
Yeah, so I was trying to tell if it was me or not, but
no, I think it's the mic might not be close to you or something.
yeah, we're getting some feedback here.
Can you go without the mic?
You can certainly try.
Whoa. Now we got nothing from you.
How's that?
That's better. That's way better.
No feedback.
No feedback. That's way better. Got over 8 here and over 8.5 with the plus money for North Carolina. Are you buying in, Dan?
No, I mean that's a really deflating way to end their season. Albeit did they end up beating Oregon? They should have beat Oregon. They're certainly up in that game. I can't.
They should have, and they didn't.
They did not. So they lost by 1, I believe.
Yeah, they were up by multiple touchdowns. I'm pretty sure.
But I mean,
and look at this. Look at this schedule to open up though. They got Beamer in the beginning, in the first game. That's where game day's at, and then App State, and then Minnesota. Not necessarily, the best teams, but they're each of those are capable, and then at Pitt, yeah. So it's an interesting first month to start the season. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they're 2-2 or something of that nature, or maybe even worse. Maybe it could be better. Maybe 3-1. I definitely see at least 1 or 2 losses there in the beginning. So
Miami at home. Then the November date was Campbell.
The Camels.
So Camels.
I would say 8 wins. Yeah, I would go 8 wins here. So under the 8.5.
Is Jack the Snack going to be Louisville starting quarterback?
Where? Somewhere.
At Louisville, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. You're still on Louisville. Right? You're still checking in on Louisville. You're still checking it out.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that 11-1, whatever it is. Can I bet a no at like minus 2,000 on Louisville not to win the ACC? So Yeah, we were talking about North Carolina. That I'm a little bit over that routine at this point. Between Hal a couple years ago and now Drake May.
You don't really care.
Not for 12 games.
They're good quarterbacks.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. It's not getting me going. Sorry.
All right.
Sorry, Mac and Heels.
So I'm assuming you got Clemson there in Charlotte with Florida State.
Yeah, I'll probably just do the chalk in this one. Yeah, fairly boring.
How do you feel about Clemson as a contender here nationally? Do you think it obviously comes down to Riley and Klubnik, right?
Klubnik, exactly. Yeah, I was waiting for you to get to that one.
But yeah, I really don't know. The receiving core hasn't been good for the past couple of years. They've got Shipley in there, much to AY's chagrin. But
Still after 3 years.
Yeah, though AY did get his revenge last year for that. I don't think there's going to be an ACC team coming out of this. I think that Clemson will take a loss there somewhere in between. And I think they'll end up winning the ACC. But I think I could see – could you see an ACC champion with one loss not making it the playoff? No.
Actually, no.
I think I don't think so either. So, you know what? I'll go one loss for Clemson, and I think they make it to the playoffs.
So I will give you three options. And I would be surprised if it doesn't come out of these three. Florida State, home for Florida State, home for Notre Dame, or at Scar, the one loss. Because where I'm going with that, I was leading it into when you asked about the one loss, if that comes to Scar, depending on how the rest of the landscape looks, then that's tougher, right? We've seen that over and over again when it comes to the recency bias.
That's true.
Towards when the loss occurs. But I don't know, like at Miami, no, I already talked about them. Carolina, just talked about them. Yeah, it's not going to be particularly fun, but the underlings battling it out will be fun.
That'll be fun.
That's worth.
I got Clemson winning the ACC here.
Okay, I'll go Florida State.
Yeah,
revenge. So how about that? There you go. Florida State beats every team on their schedule and goes 12-1.
That's good. That's good.
Or they lose to LSU, like I think, and then run the rest of the table. When was the last time that happened? Team lost the first game and then won. Somebody did not. No, Virginia Tech did it one year after losing the first two. I think they went 11-2.
Well, Miami in the year before the 0-1 season lost to Washington in the first game of the season and then won the rest, and then did not get the computers didn't take them that year. Even though they beat Florida State. Florida State still got in the championship game over them. So, yeah, Miami lost at Washington first game of the year and then ran the table. At least I'm pretty sure that's the way it went.
I don't think it was. I think it was early. But I was trying to look it up to potentially correct you. Though my conviction.
No, what? It was the second game of the season, not the first game of the season.
There it is, okay.
Miami
might as well have been.
Miami did beat McNeese State in the first game of the season. Yeah. There it is.
All right. AY, your old conference selections. Team's old conference.
So
maybe their new conference. Who knows?
I was reading the ACC mailbag this morning, actually. And they talked about like program like mystique, value, and just aura, I suppose. And they include Notre Dame in that.
Oh yeah, yes.
I don't know why, but where would you rank Pitt in that?
Oh gosh, I thought you were just gonna pick Pitt to participate. Certainly as an ACC school, I mean, indistinguishable. Like in terms of
you're talking about overall.
The ACC.
No, I'm saying so they ranked 1 through 15 the ACC schools as far
right.
as
So Pitt would probably be in the top 5 in the ACC. I would say.
You're talking history.
Just like meaning like
And then they
Meaningful-
also just won it 2 years ago. as
Well,
like meaningful
do you-
impact, like today.
today or hit. So you're saying historically, or you're talking about in the landscape
I
today?
mean,
in the
you
college football
use
landscape?
history to as like a part of the equation.
Mhm.
So I think
Well-
Pitt is above BC, not above. Clemson.
Thank you.
DC
I think
is the
they are
bottom.
above Duke. I don't think they're above Florida State.
Virginia Tech's an interesting one. I would say that's
I would say
because
That's-
of Can's accurately predicted slide for Virginia Tech over these last 3 or 4 seasons. But does that make up for playing in a
Well,
national championship game?
That's
in our
kind of what it
lifetime?
came down to.
and not only that, they were consistently a top 10
Yeah.
program for 20 years.
Yeah.
Ron is enjoying life right
I
now.
know, yeah, it's ridiculous. I was trying not to
I
draw
like
attention
that.
to
I
it.
like him. I would take so let's just go down the list. Duke, they're above. Florida State, they are not. Georgia Tech, they are above. Louisville, I would say they are.
Yeah, they're above. Come on.
Pitt's
They're
above
above. I
you.
mean, but I'm saying
Yeah,
Louisville.
you have to remember they literally just won the conference too.
Yes, yes.
And not like
Louisville
a,
also recently
Clemson
had
was
a
banned.
Heisman winner, right?
I mean,
And then I'd say the track record.
Pitt should have had a Heisman winner.
Okay.
Larry.
Yeah. I'm saying, but from the back end of Louisville in the Big East into the ACC. Okay.
Here,
I will.
I'll give you
will
Clemson,
say,
Florida
I'll take them a
State.
half step. Yeah, I will take you Louisville behind them. Miami, I'd still say, even despite the
Above.
struggles, above Pitt. Would you take
Above, yep.
Miami above Pitt?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. The Pack, they are above.
Pitt is above NC State
Pac.
too.
The Carolina, there's a good question. Do you think they're above
No,
Carolina?
it's not even close to being a good question. Pitt is in football. Pitt is above North Carolina in football.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The Cuse, they're above. Virginia, they're above. Virginia Tech, despite
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
I would still say they're above. Yeah.
That's what.
I mean, not
Pitt
above. I would
above them?
still say Virginia Tech is still above Pitt. Yeah.
I would also put Virginia Tech above Pitt too. Yeah.
It came down to the top 4 were Notre Dame, Clemson, Florida State.
Oh, I
Miami.
forgot Notre Dame's including that too.
Oh, yeah, but it doesn't matter for this. It's whatever. They were in that, but 5
So
and
yeah,
6.
I'd have Pitt number 6 then.
It
Behind
came
those.
down to Pitt and Va Tech.
Yeah,
And,
I'll take it. I would take
they
it.
went Pitt.
Oh, maybe
It's
for
tough.
the-
I mean, the playing like you said, what Can said, and Vatex won the ACC. What?
like
4 times?
4 or 5, 4 times.
Yeah. Between that, I mean, that's a very strong decade and a half run. It kind of popped with when Beamer left. Some are saying the 0-0 tie going
So,
into overtime is
Some
when
would say.
when the balloon popped.
Some would say.
No, I think this is a pretty easy one though for a lot of these schools in terms of Pitt versus
Oh
from
yeah,
a
yeah.
football standpoint.
yeah.
Basketball obviously is a totally
Yeah.
different conversation. I was looking; they were 13th rated in Ken Palm. This is I don't even know how they came up with this. They somehow said Pitt was rated 13 in the Ken Palm 2000 to 2009. Because I
That's
don't
good.
even know how I found that.
Gary
Yeah,
McGee.
it's really good.
Oh,
yeah.
well, McGee was after.
I guess
I-
Gary would not be included in that.
I thought it'd be a little better than that.
That's it. Like that's pretty much,
Well, you
Yeah.
can run through it right now. Pitt above Boston College basketball. Above
Well, yeah,
Clemson
basketball. Yeah,
Not above Duke.
No.
Are they above Florida State with Bunny?
that's a great question because Florida
That's
State
like-
doesn't have that much history either.
That's
Yeah,
like
kind
a
of
Va
watch.
Tech football one. It's close.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
a close one. All right, that's a 50-50. Georgia Tech, they're above, I think, at this point. The Ville, I don't think they're above.
But
The Ville.
Georgia Tech's like the
Georgia-
Florida Marlins. They have like
exactly.
random years.
well,
Yeah,
they
but-
get random players, but they haven't been good for 10
Georgia
years.
Tech's tough one. I
They
would say-
won the
I-
ACC tournament 2 years
They
ago with
would
the
have
Wildcats.
won, like, what, 18 wins or something like that?
What did I just value highly with the Virginia Tech?
Okay, hold on. I'd take Georgia Tech below them. The Ville above, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Miami below.
back to back.
No,
will be eight.
recently, I don't know. How much do you weigh recency? There you go.
That's the question.
Carolina.
Because
obviously-
Pitt is not. Yeah, Pitt is not dealing with that big of a.
the Pack. Do you take the Pack over?
That's why I said
Pitt?
basketball is tougher.
You
Pack I
say-
would take over Pitt.
Okay.
Absolutely take over Pitt.
Cuse obviously above.
Yep.
Virginia above.
Yep.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech not above. Wake, I
No,
think
that's-
that's fallen
yeah.
below now.
Wake had some bad. Wake's had a bad run of things.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
They've fallen now. If this was
Ever
15
since they
years
hired
ago,
Manning, like 8 years
Oh
ago.
yeah.
they-
Or Dino Gaudio.
Dean,
Oh, gosh.
so that's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 above them. So Pitt, a football school in the ACC.
Yeah, that's what we decided.
They're better
Yeah.
in football than basketball. There you go.
A certain Twitter follow that AY loves, who is part of Pitt Twitter, whether they love him or not, would also agree with that.
Ah,
Haven't had any of those in a while.
I know.
Well, it's August. The calendar's turned. We'll have to
Exactly. Yeah.
have to check in.
I'm gonna have to introduce I'll introduce you to one of my favorite follows. He'll be my defense mechanism. His name is Jay Kuda. Oh, he has some fantastic tweets.
Oh,
He'll be like my shield against
that's good.
your 2-hour attempts to block me.
But
Oh my gosh.
we
Penn State
spent
or
20
is it
minutes
Notre
on the
Dame?
ACC.
I know. I have a plan for this. That's my long way of saying I didn't mean to derail us there, but I'm gonna go Clemson, Florida State as well. But I'm gonna say both teams enter with a combined at least
4
5
losses.
losses.
5.
5 losses. Wow.
Fun.
I don't even know if that's mathematically possible.
I'm telling you, I'm
That's the way it's going to work out with the top.
as far as like possible week 1 lock. My podium right now for possibilities is
Oh,
Duke. Oh yeah.
Oh, Duke.
Clemson. Yeah.
Oh Duke.
I've seen a lot of people on there. What is it? 12 or
Got
9?
to back your guy Elko.
I
Is it
saw
9 or
13.
12?
I just saw 13 a minute ago.
Yeah. Okay. So it's around 12. Yeah.
Can's going to be all over he's going to be all over the Clemp there.
No, I'm not touching that one.
I love Duke in that one. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Super Bowl right off the bat.
You wish you had Leonard. You wish you had Leonard. You would have taken him over Hartman, right?
Only
Leonard.
because of remaining years of eligibility.
Yeah. For the
But
the
for a
development.
yeah, I mean, yes, I would have taken Leonard over Hartman, but
Lenhard.
I'm not
Lenhard.
that with the 1 year of Hartman.
Mm.
That beard he has going.
He looks like somebody. I can't put my finger on who it is, but he looks like somebody.
I think it looks like Tyler Hoechlin.
I don't know who that is.
I'll send you a picture one time.
Okay. Let's go to the B12, the newly refurbished Big 12. Look at this
Ah, good
conference.
shit.
Oh my God, my eyes are. I don't know what to make of it right now. You
Yeah,
got
pretty
BYU,
wild.
Cincinnati, Houston joining the fray, and the UCF Knights, and Mike Brown's chagrin, the UCF Knights.
Should be USF.
Yes. And, somehow West Virginia still picked last.
Are they really?
Yeah, I think so.
Gosh.
So yeah, I see BYU as the longest odds on this reference I have.
Really.
Under
I mean, it's a bad time for them to be joining. If they joined a couple of years ago with Wilson and had some good team, they would have had a good transition, I think. But it's Kalani. I'm not sure how his team's looking at. I don't think they have as many of the Mormon guys back after the missions. I think it's a little younger of a team. Still some seasoning to be done, but you think Aranda can bounce back this year? How do you feel about them?
I'm coming in hot with this one. Yeah, I think they win it.
There it is.
I'm going with them to win it. The Shapstick, I love that.
Yeah.
Like Shapen. And I think they're just salt. I was high on them, pretty high on them last year. I should have gone back and watched some of these shows we did.
It looks
because they were really highly rated last year. So
Yeah.
I don't think I was.
They were top 10.
super big.
They were number 9 when they lost.
I
to
was
BYU.
probably shorting them a little bit
Yeah.
because of that high rating. But generally speaking, I don't mind.
They're playing the LIU fucking Sharks.
Sharks.
The Tiburones. The EA Sports Tiburones.
Oh my gosh. So, yeah, between the coach and quarterback combination, that's about as deep as I get on a lot of these teams, as you guys know by now. So I think that gives them a good outside shot. Ken, how much do you hate Iowa State this year?
I hate them. I hate them a lot.
Where's your barometer?
I'm thinking 7 wins again. There you go. And Campbell, he should have left while he could have. Because, I mean, I'm sure people will take him still, but I don't think his star will ever be as high as it was then. How do you feel?
sorry, real quick on that. Where was he the closest? If we're keeping track?
To being
Do we even
really good. Was it the year they beat Oregon?
No, not to have the good team, but to go get another job. Was the NFL more so, or was there a specific school?
Was it when Frost went? Was it when Frost went to Nebraska?
It might have even been one of those years when Kelly was interviewing with the Lions. Kelly was still there, but I feel like Campbell was.
Or Chicago, wasn't he? Wasn't he talking to Chicago?
Or Chicago, yeah. But I feel like Swarbrick had Campbell on hold as Kelly was in his office telling him he's staying or going.
Could be what I'm thinking of.
Maybe. How do you feel? How do you feel about the hype around that Texas Tech program?
Yeah, you know their quarterback is.
We know their quarterback.
Not only how his name, not only his game, but also his pronunciation of his last name, Mr. Show.
The Shuckinator.
The Shuckster.
The Shuckster.
Yeah. So I'm not.
Yeah, You're not in.
No.
People are excited about what's brewing in Lubbock. He's an old high school coach in Texas. He's got major inroads. They're getting recruiting wins. I think they got a really good receiver coming in. Not this year, but next. They're recruiting well. He sprung a couple of upsets last year, playing tough. The Big 12 every year is a slugfest. I feel like it's and this year I think more so than usual. I don't think any team is coming out of here unscathed or even in the playoff chase. I think the winner is going to be a 2-loss team again this year. I don't think it's going to be out of the blue like it did last year. Speaking of which, how do you guys feel about this TCU over? You see the TCU over is like 7.
TCU's ass. Iowa State doesn't win a road game.
How do you feel about my Cats?
I didn't get there yet. Hold on. You say 7.5 for TCU?
I think it might be even lower, honestly. It might be 6. I'm going to it now. Hold on. TCU. I don't know how they have this fucking order.
They're the 6th choice in the Big 12. Yeah.
TCU
Respect not earned.
Yeah, 7.5. But the over is it's big minus numbers for the over at 7.5. Which I think is not a lock. I think it could be a 7-1 season for them.
This game of the year could be K-State, Texas Tech.
Wow.
How early is that?
October 14th.
Oh, okay. That is a crossroads game, I would say, for both of those two.
Oklahoma's second choice in the Big 12. No, thank you. I'll take the K-State Texas Tech winner to meet Texas in the title game.
I like that.
Just to spritz it up, I will go Baylor over Oklahoma. So we're
Oklahoma State. I've seen it out there. People taking a peek at
60-1. I'm seeing. Right
no, I'm not saying to win it, but they're over under. Let me see here. Oklahoma State over under 6.5 right now.
That's a Gundy play if you do that.
That's a Gundy play. Look at their schedule. It is not very good. As in, they don't play anybody. They don't play Texas.
Central Arkansas.
At home, but they got Houston. They got every one of the new teams. It looks like they got BYU, Houston, UCF, all at the end of the season to close it out. They play South Alabama, Central Arkansas. I'm seeing 7-8 wins here. So
well, if I do recall, AY was privy to some South Alabama New Year's Six Bowl talk at some point. What was it? Was that on a baseball show? Or is that on like a Sun Belt podcast?
Wasn't it Cincy? They've got Cincy and West Virginia.
Oh.
They played so many. I might put this.
That was a Sun Belt podcast. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It was South Alabama's odds to make the New Year's Six, I believe. Amazing.
Yeah, because I ended up revisiting that pod during CTC time to get an inside.
That's right.
On the Sun Belt, and
that was a long time ago.
And South Alabama was an 8 seed this year in the Sun Belt, and so they were hurt all year, but they were the top-rated team on Torvik, and they went to the finals. Did they win the Sun Belt? I remember they played old.
That's what I'm trying to think now.
They played who was the Miss? They played Southern Miss was the 1 seed. Southern Miss preseason was like 250 to 1 to win the Sun Belt.
Right. But they did not. They definitely didn't make it. Who made it from the Sun Belt this
South
year?
Alabama beat Southern Miss, and they got to the finals against not Marshall because they were the 4 seed. It might have been the Raging Cajuns.
That sounds right. I don't remember though. Seems not that long ago, yet long ago. So, all right. So Cam, this schedule. So Central Arkansas will say win. What is Herm? What is Herm?
Herm is not there anymore.
I know.
The artist formerly known as
for the foreseeable future. Arizona
Herm,
State will still be
continue.
I will still call them Herm.
Yes. Dillingham. They've got
On the road.
I forget who they got. On the road there. South Alabama should be a win.
Oh, they got Pine Tar.
Yeah.
Drew Pine, I forgot that's where he landed.
The Pine Tar. AY, much to AY chagrin. He misses him.
Yep.
Who do I miss?
Pine Tar.
Drew Pine.
Oh,
This is fantastic.
out there at he's at Sparky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So on the Arizona State football Wikipedia page for the 2023 season, they have the personnel listed. They have the name, number, class, height, weight, and presumably the home flag of the state which they're from. Let me show you.
Oh,
I will share that because it feels
just to clarify, the Cajuns, the 2 seed in Sun Belt basketball, beat the 8 seed South Alabama in the finals.
I'm going to put this bet in right now, actually, I think.
Oh, live on air. Nice.
there you have it. How well do you know your state flags?
That is good. I like that.
That's
Why do
California.
they have that? Why?
Oh, I do know Arizona's,
Texas.
Texas, California, Pennsylvania. I don't even know if I know Ohio's.
Dan, do you know?
I don't know that I could spot it either, to be honest. See if we have any Maryland. I know that I saw a woman in a Maryland bikini, Maryland state flag bikini.
Oh, they love their freaking flag.
They love their flag, yes.
All right, there you go. Brief intermission.
Roth has Maryland flag swim trunks.
So Kent, are you saying to take you pick? Wait, Roth has Maryland flag swimming trunks. He lives there though.
Yeah, but he would never. I'll text him and ask him.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's probably sleeping, but whatever.
Yeah. All right, Ken. So you're saying Arizona State is a win?
Arizona State's a win.
Okay. Home for South Alabama, presumably a win.
Presumably a win.
At Iowa State,
Win.
4-0. Home for Kansas State.
Loss.
Home for Kansas.
Win.
At West Virginia.
Win.
The push cart.
He's gone.
All
Brown is gone by this point.
Brown is gone.
Brown is gone by this point.
Could you imagine if Penn State and Pitt beat him by like combined
Oh,
84-20 or something like that? He
Brown
is
is
not
gone.
making it past that.
Yeah, Brown is gone at this point. Way gone.
Okay. Home for Cincy. Yeah, I mean, we're getting there at this point. Home
Yeah,
for Cincy.
exactly.
Home
And
for Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Well, they're
I'm
not
going-
beating Oklahoma.
I'm going over 6.5 right now. They're not beating
Right.
Oklahoma. They're
All right.
beating Cincy. Cincy.
Who's your pick for the conference?
I will go with Texas against. It's going to be someone freaking weird this year. But
Take your Cats again. They're
no, they lost Deuce Vaughn. Though I think they could. I'll go with the Cats. I'll go with the Cats again.
My God.
Texas Cats.
Oklahoma State football QB Alan Bowman. He is there now?
Yes, he is there. Yes, he is the 8th year. He's starting.
I didn't know there's. I don't remember any major star skill position players either. All right. Somebody may emerge.
Exactly. Somebody may emerge.
That's literally going to be my.
This is a Gundy play.
That's-
This is a Gundy play.
Spoiler alert. That's going to be my entire Pitt football preview. Somebody may emerge.
Somebody's going to play.
And they'll probably get the 6 or 7 wins some way.
Somebody will play.
Jay, I guess for the record, I'm going K-State back to back.
Wow.
Oh, wow, nice. Yeah, Baylor over Oklahoma for me. And then, all right.
It could be a situation like USC last year with Texas, maybe going into the Big 12 title game with one loss
True.
and just not being able to do it.
I can totally see it.
I do think.
Or TCU.
Yeah.
Or TCU last year.
I am taking no teams from the Big 12 to make it to the playoffs, though. But I will also go with Texas to win it.
Can I get? Yeah, I mean, can I go Florida State and Baylor? Actually, I haven't decided on my playoff. You're the only one that felt the need to proclaim whether your ACC champion would make the playoff.
Yeah, that's true.
I have 0 playoff teams so far.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold tight. Hold the rest of yours, Can, till the end.
Okay, I will hold the rest of mine.
All right, let's do the Pac-12 in under 4 minutes.
Okay, that's good. How many teams are left there? The Pac-12 is like Pac-12 may be the most interesting league.
I agree. It is actually pretty awesome. There's the top 6 teams are all pretty close.
Yeah, and then they all have really good quarterbacks.
I want so badly for DJ Uiagalelei and the Beavers to just get hot. Can you imagine that civil war if they're both like 10-1 this year?
Imagine the chainsaws going.
Or 9-2. They'll be like 9-2. USC is the favorite. I haven't checked USC's schedule, but am just crossing my fingers that they are undefeated going into mid-October.
Your favorite date, an undefeated USC team.
And I hope that weather is 29 degrees. Is USC going to go? Well, Utah won last year, but is USC going to go back and get revenge?
I do think they finally get over the Utah hump, the Tar hump. I think Oregon's going to win the conference this year. I like them a lot. But I think it'll be tough. Again, I think nobody comes out unscathed. And I don't think, well, you said just keep my playoff commentary to myself. So
Please.
I do think it'll be Oregon and USC in the championship game. But I think Washington will be in there. It's gonna come down to another weird tiebreaker again, and Washington's gonna get screwed again. But that league is gonna be awesome. I'm excited about that league.
Yeah, I get Washington
Hi,
over
Sarah.
USC.
Hi, Sarah.
Everybody saying hi. Watch this through the magic.
Hello.
Through the magic of closing the camera slot.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Ah.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, I'll go Washington over USC. Washington over USC. Nothing more to add because we went through this in 4 minutes.
I did some quick recon. USC, San Jose State, and Nevada to start off the year. 4 Pac-12 games leading into ND after those 2 non-cons. The 4 Pac-12 games are against the bottom 4 teams and odds to win the league. So we will have a 6-0 USC going to South Bend, who could have 2 losses by then. We'll see. But irregardless, maybe we'll be able to tackle Caleb Williams this year. USC, then host Utah, out Oregon. Could have breaker implications if they used to lose to Utah. and I'm going to say it does. Oregon and oh god, the winner of the Civil War goes to the Pac-12 title game
Love it.
against Penix.
I will say I feel like he's on borrowed time health-wise, and I heard somebody mention that earlier, so I'm kind of stealing it, but I also definitely remember his health issues prior to Washington, so that's going to be
win one for the Gipper here.
That's what I'm hoping for.
All right, we're going down south.
Let's go down south.
It just means more down there. Roth country.
The two best conferences are the two conferences that still have divisions. This is where it means more. Championships.
Could we have the Final Four out of these last two conferences?
I'm still going no.
Well, in my scenario with Clemson winning, no. And you know how much we want to be right, so I will say no. But I wouldn't be heartbroken if it's a yes.
You were definitely on the fence when it came to Clemson being in the playoffs.
Yeah, I am on the fence because
you get a get out of jail free card.
If it's for a certain team that I don't root for, maybe. We're talking about Alabama. I do root for Alabama. I do like Alabama.
I am going to put Georgia in the title game because the schedule is Joke City.
Joke City until Tennessee. You think? So, do you believe in not Hooker?
Joe Milton.
Milton, yeah. If you remember the analyst on Michigan's site from 2020, he's got the arm of Big Ben, the size, the feet of Cam Newton, and the mind of Tom Brady.
Oh, how can you sell that? I mean,
he did actually put all that on display his very first game.
Yes, and then it didn't go well from there.
So, I will. Nice win over Klemp. I go back to along the same lines of what I said about North Carolina. 12 games though. Going to do it for 12, not 8. Tennessee smells like 9-3, which is okay until they figure out maybe another. It's a good bridge season, maybe we'll call it, from nearly being a playoff team last year. Is that fair? Is that kind enough? I know
that's fair.
I generally bag on Josh Heupel, but I'm trying to be a little bit nicer.
I do think he's got a system now. And even if they, it's that Baylor system that he's running, right? I think, Dan, you're scared of the flashing lights back there or what?
Yep.
That system that he runs with, it's the Baylor Brile system, right? And I think they've got a system in there that no matter who's the quarterback, it's going to be good numbers. So Tennessee, I think will be good. Let me check the schedule here.
Yeah, I got it up already. Well, Zima's week 1 loss.
Yeah. Tennessee's a loss. Tennessee's a loss.
Zima's tough.
I don't even know what they have left. Who's their coach again?
It's the
Tony Elliott. That's right, Tony Elliott.
Tony Elliott.
I'm laughing. They obviously did the disastrous. Probably. Never mind, I'm not going to rank something like that. They're
it's
mostly charged coming into this season, we'll say.
Yeah. The game that they had before that, though, with the pick sixes against Pitt, ridiculous.
True.
But yes, hopefully they have a nice bounce back season. They can build upon that rallying cry. Hopefully, not that you'd ever want that rallying cry, but
they eke it out by a field goal.
Definitely rooting for them. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Balls by a field goal against the Zima drinking weenies.
Yep. Florida. I don't think Florida. We didn't talk about this. It's like I think theirs is 6, right? everybody's got.
I didn't look at hardly any over-unders for this, which is
this
my mistake.
exercise- for this exercise.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Florida. South Florida. No, I don't want Florida. Florida 5.5. Nobody likes Florida. I got them losing to Bama before they go to the Georgia game. So, and then I think there's going to be a loss in here somewhere. I got Tennessee winning.
We established Con's beating them as well.
Yeah, to Con as well.
9-3 with Con,
9-3.
Alabama, and Georgia losses. There you
Exactly.
go. Who else would you like to talk about in the SC? Is there anything?
Do you think Florida? Do you think Florida's going under the 5.5?
Well, I have no interest in that game.
Okay.
I have no interest in that team. No, I was saying Kentucky going to make any noise, but they
No. Well, they got the who's the quarterback from NC State? What's his name?
Finley.
Finley. Yeah. They got Finley. They've got
it's Leary.
Leary, not Finley. Leary.
Ryan Finley was the
Devin
quarterback.
Leary.
Yeah,
And this Leary is the brother of a different Leary, right? That played before.
Dennis Leary.
Yeah. No,
I'm just kidding. No, Dennis Leary,
Dennis.
not the actor comedian Dennis Leary.
a different.
Dennis
Leary.
O'Leary, for
Hmm.
the Notre Dame coach for 4 days.
George, I thought.
Yeah, George. I was thinking of a combination of the two.
We're off the rails.
We are off the rails. Okay.
So
Yeah.
no interest in Kentucky.
East, so the East, you got Georgia. Georgia, we got the East coming out, and then
Georgia's losing to Tennessee.
No way. There's no way.
Georgia, Alabama in the SEC title game. They both
Yes.
go to the playoff.
Oh. Alabama, they don't know who the quarterback's going to be, right?
It's Buckner. There's 0% chance it's Buckner. It's got to be, what's his name? Milton? Not Milton.
No. Simpson.
Milrow?
Not Milrow. I don't think it'd be Milrow. I think it's going to be Simpson. But I think they're going to be playing Milrow, too. I think they're going to be running the ball with him, too.
They have no quarterback, and LSU has two really good ones, and Alabama's still going to beat them. So it's going to come down to Bama, LSU in the West. Both Mississippi schools are ass. Georgia, Bama. I'm going to go Alabama here. I'm just sick of Georgia.
Speaking of tragedies, how did Cowbell hired the interim?
Yeah. Not Key. Was it Keys? Was his name Key?
What the hell was that guy's name? Yeah, I
Was it
looked that up
Keys?
not too long ago.
Key?
I just looked at it like 5 minutes ago. I can't remember his name.
No, Key was a Georgia Tech guy, right?
Yeah, Zach Arnett.
Arnett.
Apologies. Yeah.
Will Arnett's
Zach,
pissed.
don't call me Will Arnett. Yeah.
Yes.
Don't
he is.
call me that.
cousin.
So congratulations to him. I'll be interested to see if he can carry on the torch of Sly Kroom and Dan Mullen and the Pirate.
Yeah, the old Sly Crim torch.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got?
Well, I would say one last thing on the SEC. You have Georgia and Bama can as well.
I got Georgia. Yeah, I don't think B. Kelly can keep it going or can at least enough to remake the magic of last year. I got Bama making it. Where do you guys see Jumbo landing this year? Two questions. Jumbo, and then first season for Hugh.
Well, first season for Hugh is amazing because Thorny, I'm just seeing now, is on that team and likely to be the starting quarterback.
Yes, gross.
That's going to be wild.
Have you guys probably haven't seen it. They're about to pull a third 5-star here in a week.
Good job, Hugh.
They flipped the guy. I mean, this should catch nobody as surprise. This guy was getting 5 stars to Ole Miss, and now that it's legal the way he was getting them to Ole Miss, now he can just do it even more and flipped a guy, Riddick from Georgia, the safety or linebacker from Georgia. Then he flipped Perry, this receiver from Alabama, from Foley High School, in fact, which is Julio Jones High School. And now it seems that they are trending for KJ Bolden from Buford High School, which is where Shut 'Em Down 3 lives, and where he's hoping to send his children, his football playing sons. So maybe in a couple of years we'll be hearing about them. That high school is also loaded, by the way. The number one quarterback transferred there from Arizona, the one that's committed to Georgia. He goes to Buford. They got a bunch of other freaking 4- and 5-star guys. They got probably like 5 or 6 of them on their team. It's ridiculous, that team.
Good job, Hugh.
Good job, Hugh.
So are we ready for November 4th when A&M travels to Hugh?
Oh, yeah, I can't wait for that game. But Jumbo, where is Jumbo at that point? He's not fired November 4th, is he?
I don't know where things stand with his contract, and
No,
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see him chew Petrino out.
He
That'd be
could
so
be
cool.
axed if he loses at home to Bama, then at Tennessee, then the team gives up against Scar. He could be fired midweek going into Hugh. I'll go with the positive side, and they go to Miami week 2. He could miss the plan.
that game, that was one of the worst football games this season, I would have to say. Not looking forward to that one.
I don't know. We'll have to hone in more on Jumbo as we
We'll check in on him as
The
we
the week 2 preview. We'll
Nice.
give it a Jumbo thought.
All right.
Sounds good.
And I've got both, I think, being undefeated going into the national championship game and basically, or the SEC championship game, and basically it won't make a difference.
Right.
They might have one loss between them, but I think they're both going to playoff.
Okay. You think it's Georgia? Oh my God, Andy! Look at what he got over there. I just realizing what it is. No offense,
Yeah.
but he got a huge bag from Costco of Reese's Pieces. Oh my God, those look so good.
Oh,
No offense, Dan.
sounds delicious.
Right. Okay. Well, I think. Do you think it's Georgia or Alabama coming out on top?
Georgia.
Georgia runs the regular season. Bama trips up once, wins SEC title game again.
I'm taking Bama to win the title game also.
Okay.
Exciting.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Well, it's good to see Nick Saban get a bounce back year,
Right. He needs it. Yeah.
He needs it. Okay. We are into my home conference.
I thought we were going Independence next.
Independence. Sorry. Independence next. You're right. Let's go to the INDENPENT.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
All right, that was good. On to the Big Ten. We don't need to talk about Independence. The Big. Well, this is a true battle here this year.
In one division.
To some people.
To some people. You got the best division in college football here in the Big Ten East. 3 top 10 teams there. 2 top 5. I'm excited about this one. I'm feeling good. This is what I'll say. I don't think Rutgers will be bowl eligible by the end of the season.
Fair.
According
That has
to
always been the problem with the bottom of that division, though. Anytime, not that there's any way to fully judge it, but that bottom is usually terrible.
Terrible. But Maryland's getting some love. Maryland's over-under, I think, is relatively high, I'm pretty sure.
I know. I've heard this.
7.5. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I've heard this before.
That needs to stop. I'm sick of any Maryland hype ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not since the fridge.
Tucker
Not since
looking
the
for a
fridge.
bounce back after a mass exodus as well. Thorny, the aforementioned Thorny, and then also the aforementioned Keon Coleman as well. All gone. Is there a Kenneth Gainwell? Is there a Kenneth Walker?
Kenny Walker, yeah.
Waiting in the wings? We don't know, but obviously the 3 big names: Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State. I for one am. If I were a Penn State fan, I'd be worried about Michigan. Not that you aren't worried about Michigan to begin with, but I really do think this is like a turning point in their program right now for at least under Harbaugh, right? They've got a 5-star quarterback that I think is really coming into his own. You saw him throw the ball very well in the last 2 games of the year. I would be worried if I were a Penn State fan about his progression and the next steps that he's taking. Obviously, they've got, if I were a Penn State fan, I may beg to differ, but maybe the best running back duo in the conference, or if not the country. And they've got a great secondary as well. So they match up well against a team like an Ohio State. They can obviously I saw something recently about their offensive line. The Senior Bowl guy was saying that they could have 7 guys drafted off that offensive line. So 2 of the guys that are starting are going to get drafted. It's ridiculous.
That plays into Harbaugh saying 20 guys are getting drafted.
Yeah, exactly. But you got to look at the quality of the draft. How many of those guys are freaking 7th and 6th round draft picks? That's the question. 5th, 6th, 7th.
True.
If I were a Penn State fan, I'd be worried about Michigan. That's what I'll say. Ohio State. I mean, what is there left to say? They'll be great at receiver. Marvin Harrison Jr.
They're due. That's what's the crazy thing.
Yeah, they are due. They haven't beaten Michigan in 3 years, which is crazy to think about, right?
Ohio State was a field goal away from a title.
Winning the national title after getting smoked by Michigan. Amazing.
Because, I mean,
Not just a field goal away. They were up 2 touchdowns.
They were. They gave that drive to Georgia way too easy. Don't.
Yeah, it was.
And keep that door closed if it's open, or if it is closed. Don't let your other half hear this. Rehashing some sad memories. I remember that kick went up at like 12:03. We missed New Year's.
Yep.
Not me. I was on the West Coast.
Oh. Yeah, we missed. I have 2 questions for the big to ask our big resident here.
Thank you.
Maybe 2.5. The top 3 teams are all good. I think Penn State's a half a tier below. I think that's fair to say, just due to the recruiting blue chip ratings over the last, X months.
Well, you could say that for Ohio State. They're above freaking Michigan when it
Oh
comes
no, I Ohio State is blue chip wise number 1 for sure.
right.
But where Ohio State needs to utilize their advantage of receiver, I am not sold. I guess we're just unknown. We don't know about McCord. We are making assumptions about. Can we get this? Is it Aller or Alar? What are we doing here?
I will always say the Alar, but
I think it's Aller.
Okay, well, I was hoping
I
for
think
some
Tan is
clarity. So I'll go with Aller. So we
Yes.
got McCord and Aller, and you just wax poetic about McCarthy. There's my half question. I'm not fully sold, but he's done it on the big stage. So these 3 teams are all awesome. Are we sure about the quarterback play on all 3?
Oh, I think we're relatively sure for Michigan's.
Yeah, I mean, which is why it was a half. Yeah, I'm okay. I'll give you that. So 2, McCord, because Day has named a starter. You'd think he'd. If McCord
Well,
was so
I think
good-
he's doing the same thing Franklin is doing. Franklin hasn't named a starter.
No,
yet.
I think Franklin's just an Uber.
is Chugginoff going to get the nod?
No, we know how Franklin is versus Day. Day doesn't play these little games. Franklin does.
I think everybody plays these little games. Why announce a starter when you don't need to?
We know how Jimmy is. Jimmy's
he didn't announce a starter
Ken, it's easy to.
before
it's easy
Stroud,
for
did
you
he? Before Stroud. That's why Stroud was
Okay.
pissed. Remember, he had a chip on his shoulder. He was pissed they brought Ewers in.
Ken, you run a one-word offense.
That's
Yeah.
true. They run the one word.
Okay, so let's just.
Editor's note. It was he definitely mentioned that it was not it was not a jab at Franklin.
For those
Let's
unaware,
assume that McCord wins the job and Aller win the job. Are these guys capable of winning a Big Ten title? I mean, they're highly rated, yes, but what experience and snaps do they have?
What's that? Sorry.
Like, do they have the capabilities to win the title? Big
Who's
Ten?
that? Big Ten? I think they
The
have it.
quarterbacks.
Ohio State would have won it last year had they not blown it. I think they definitely.
Yeah, they had C.J. Stroud, number 2 pick, not
Okay,
Kyle
okay.
McCord.
Right.
I think they've got the number one non-quarterback favorite or who I would pick to win the Heisman if he
They
weren't.
could have 1 and 2.
Yeah. Who are you talking about, Julian Fleming?
No, Henderson. And,
Jules.
so what is?
I think their capability is there. I really do.
And my other question is, can Penn State's line
Yes.
hold up?
You're talking about offensive line? Yeah. I think this
Because
is
I think
this
it's
is one of
I think it's pretty overrated. If I'm being,
I
honest.
think it's one of the few. It's one of the few units that will be actually somewhat decent in college football. In college football these days, no line is great, right? You don't have a great line.
Michigan's pretty good. Notre Dame's
Michigan
pretty
is
good.
very good. They won the offensive line of the year or whatever, and they still have holes, here and there. There's no such thing as an elite line in college football anymore. I don't think. I think you got very good ones, and that's about it. I think this year's Penn State line is going to be good. Is good. They've got not just talent, high end talent, obviously, with a guy like Fashanu.
Is he gonna be able to sit in the field?
Hopefully, that's the thing. Last year they were able to develop even depth. On top of that, you realize the large portion of that 5-game win streak was played using 2 to 3 backups, right? And so you've got young guys that are in there with experience that they can rely on to not just be stand-ins. They're guys that they have confidence in that will that they have no problem playing, right? And so I think the depth is going to be a big part of Penn State's line and the success there. And then we don't need to dive too deeply into it here.
At
We've
first,
got-
I thought that was a giant wiener on the screen.
Jeffrey Tubin.
He looks erect. Ronnie looks erect.
Always.
I am feeling comfortable at the line, and they've got 2 great running backs that will be able to mask a lot of any other deficiencies that may happen, right? So we see a lot of that as well. I'm excited. I am excited. And then
Certainly have the
like I
long
said, we don't
board.
need to dive too deeply into Penn State here. I'm sure we'll get to it at a
We
later.
will.
But I'm excited about the Manny Diaz defense.
Before he goes to Temple again.
Before he goes to Temple again, I think he'll have a great send-off this year. So I'm bullish. I won't predict who will win the Big Ten this year or this podcast because, like I said, we will get further into it later on in the not off season, but in the preview season.
All
I'm
right.
gonna go Michigan over Wisconsin.
I can't believe. Where is the love? You had so much for them last year, AY.
Who?
Nebraska.
Our Huskers.
Nebraska.
Yeah, they're dead.
I think they might do it. I'm looking at this.
I'm gonna root
First of
for
all,
them.
I've been infatuated with Matt Rule for many years at this point.
Also, he's always asked in his first season, but he does not need to be asked this year.
Right. I think
They burned me
Man.
a few years in a row.
true. I'm going back to the well. I will say Ohio State beats Nebraska in the Big Ten championship 70-14.
Did you guys caught Kirk Ferentz at Big Ten Media Day, right?
I don't think so.
No, I haven't.
Oh,
Ken, you are the you're usually the distributor of such things.
yes,
Yeah.
he was discussing when he was explaining when he realized the importance of the punt. In 1980, his first year, he was talking about the importance of a great punter and how they had an alternate punter that year.
Unironically.
Not ironic at all. And he was talking about
Yeah.
throughout his coaching in that year in the NFL, he really realized how important a great punter is and how it can really change the game in your favor.
Classic.
That's
It
a
was
good
very good.
revelation.
And like you said, unironically, I don't think he realized, or maybe he does realize everybody's just snickering under their breath when he's talking, but he was unabashed about it, and he was not ashamed to be giving that soliloquy about his love for punters and when it first.
That is hysterical.
It's very good, very good. And complimentary football. You mentioned that, and how important.
Somebody should mail him a picture of punt with his face on it.
Yeah,
that T-shirt.
The punting from the punting from the 38, the best, the best. I don't think anybody will ever do it like him. But I want Burt to win it. I want Burt to win the West. So mainly for Penn State's strength of schedule, I think Penn State will be. Then 2 years in a row that Penn State will win against the Big Ten West champion on the road. So I'm
just don't go to OT against Burt.
Don't do that. Do not.
Do that. Or what about one? Will 1 or 2 be acceptable?
I would even say that's probably unacceptable.
Well, what if it got to 9?
I actually want to see that. Yes.
Okay, so that would be acceptable.
Yeah.
Where is the line of demarcation? Is 3 or 4 acceptable?
We're gonna draw a squiggly line between 4 and 8.
Okay, that is up or down. Could be thumbs up, could be thumbs down, but 9 is definitely acceptable. Okay.
Either finish it early or sign me up for an afternoon.
Okay.
What the hell is this guy on?
What's that?
Kirkland Michaud?
Who's that?
That's a quarterback on Illinois' roster. No. Kirkland Michaud with an X at the end. Amazing.
So he's Munchie's cousin.
Munchie could be Munchie Legault. Yeah. Oh my God.
Kirkland Michaud. Yeah, that is Munchie Legault's. That might be his new name. He might have come back more eligibility under an assumed identity and made that name.
Gosh. What a team.
Okay, so AY, who do you have then in the Big Ten title game?
He said Michigan.
I got Michigan beating Ohio State 3 years in a row.
That'd be nuts.
It would be, and I just think Ohio State dominated for a solid decade, so I think Michigan's going to get back a little bit. I think Michigan, I put them there because I think Michigan can go into Penn State and win just because they can do what they did last year and just push them around.
Yeah, they can.
They can. That's no slight at Penn State. Michigan can push around every team besides
Georgia.
So that's not
TCU apparently.
Yeah, and TCU apparently. So that's not a knock. It's just I think that style
they pushed them around. They would just turn the ball over.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I think Michigan just does it one more year. And out of the West, my heart is with Nebraska. And their assistant coach, Berwick's own Gus Felder.
Shout out Gus.
Shout out to his family.
Shout out to his family.
I'll be rooting against Minnesota. I think flex shtick.
Yeah, you're tired of it. You've had enough of that.
Been tired of that. Yeah. And I'll root for Burt too. So, but I'm gonna pick Wisconsin. Who did Wisconsin hire? Who'd they go?
Fickle.
Oh, that's right.
And they got
and they're running the air raid and Longo, Fickle and Longo.
Rowan's own, Longo.
Should have been
Lance. That's the main reason I'm not picking them.
Oh, I'm also going to root against Iowa too.
Yeah, well, I'm rooting for them to get to the 24 points per game necessary to keep Brian Ferentz.
I will say this: when it comes to the Big Ten East, I definitely want the 3-way tie. I want the.
That's what I was just gonna say. I think it's gonna be a 3-way tie.
I want the round robin,
and I'm thinking Penn State will make it in.
No, it would have to be 8-1s.
I'm thinking Penn State will make it in on the 3-way tie.
Is there some kind of like qualifier for this point per game mark?
Because what if the defense and the special teams?
And I was gonna say, can they fill the bank up in the first few weeks against?
Oh yeah.
They're gonna try, but they didn't do it against.
I'm looking forward to Brian running the score up. But I mean, look at the Nevada game. They scored 27 points against them.
I think it'd be so funny if they're like 27 a game going into last week against Nebraska and they get shut out.
Oh my god.
They ended like a 23.5.
Well, they got Tar State. Remember Tar State? How bad they were last year?
I'm sorry. I know they won the FCS championship. They scored 7 points against number 5 Dakota State. I mean, just oh my gosh.
Tar
Yeah,
State wasn't that bad last year. They just lost 4 in a row at the begin after the Con win. Remember them being 28-point favorites against Con?
Oh yeah, fantastic.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you one
Con
thing.
was
though.
up.
If there's one thing I love, it's the old like 10:30 kick.
Oh yeah.
Man, I can't wait for those.
Well, it's interesting. I was listening to somebody talking about it. It's going to be interesting to see how the Pac-12 will bend over to some of these TV networks if they're going to end up putting their best game of the week on at 10:30 at night. And you know how much they hate that 10:30 window.
Mm-hmm.
ESPN may make them, if they go with ESPN, make them put it on at 10:30 and put them even more of a whole visibility wise.
Wasn't it news today that the leader's Apple now?
Yeah, look, I saw that Apple is leader in the clubhouse, but who knows? That'd be even worse for freaking their exposure.
Yeah, Apple has the Friday night MLB games, and people always bitch and moan about it.
Just wait till you guys get the call from the CW. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, which is fielding all of NASCAR's Xfinity races next year.
Wow, look at that.
CW at the very least has a national footprint. They're distributed full across the country
I guess if you
on cable, like regular cable.
I think
That's way
whatever
better than freaking streaming.
whatever the positives are all out.
Dude, CW is not bad.
I can-
CW is not bad.
I can honestly.
Why is
say-
AY a Braves fan? Because every freaking Braves game was on TBS.
Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is true. As far
TBS
as
much more powerful.
Exposure is very important.
1,000% correct.
National TV exposure is very important.
It's-
Hopefully they get a good one
The
tree.
CW, Pitt and Cincinnati. That'll be a good one. I'm excited for that one.
just had to throw a pit in there.
It's amazing. It's
The inaugural game, Pitt cutting the ribbon. Pitt cutting the ribbon.
All right,
I
we're
can't
gonna wrap
believe
up.
they did it.
We're gonna wrap up with the Independent, and there we go. So, we'll be back.
Are there odds on the Independence Conference out there?
No, I just looked. There's not.
Well, you got
I don't think-
a.
I don't think there's any conference games.
Is the
either.
Navy still in the AC in the AAC?
Yeah,
They are. Yeah. Okay, so that is not a battle for the independent crown.
and I don't know who is is Mexico State, Liberty, and Con.
Army is right.
Army is not on the schedule this year. I don't know if there's any conference games. I'm sure there's gonna be one conference game, right?
Maybe Con against New Mexico. They may have a home and home in back-to-back weeks.
Liberty-
New Mexico
Liberty
State went
had
up to UMass last year. Remember
Wow.
that? They went up there and waxed them.
Yeah.
Oh, they play week 1 too. There's 4 teams in Independence.
So is it Massachusetts, Army, Con, and Irish, right?
Yep.
The Independence Trophy.
Strong.
Con
I'm going Con in second place there.
plays Mass last game of the year.
Wow, the battle for
The battle for first
what? Battle for first.
because that's the only conference game.
Amazing.
Oh wait, no.
That's
Army,
wrench. Oh, it's TBD.
Army doesn't play Notre Dame this year?
Army plays Mass.
Look at
Oh.
And
UMass has a chance to go 2-0.
the Con Mass game is not at the rent.
The
it
wrench.
says TBD. Are they trying to
TBD
book?
time.
Are they trying to book? That's a site TBD.
Oh wow. Well then, they might be thinking like Charlotte.
Get a little war. get the field a little worn in.
So actually, now that we say
Take it
this, the only Notre Dame is none chance of winning the Independence because they don't play any team.
Which is, I feel like, is a rarity.
So I feel like I gotta go. I'm going con.
You got to think,
Con
if
wins
Con gets off
Independence.
to a hot start, I am still amazed that you were only like 2 hours and 45 minutes from the rent, Ken.
Yeah. It's not far.
Two-faced
Well, I was basically
two-faced
there
trip
for
for
Barb's
me
wedding.
is,
I was basically there for Barb's wedding.
I can't believe the site is TBD for Mass. They got to be trying to book Foxborough.
Yeah,
That's got to be what it is, right?
Kraft won't give him a final answer. Kraft won't let him know.
If
Oh
that
my
game,
God.
if that game ends up in,
Foxborough.
if that game ends up in somehow in Acrisure, we're going.
I love that.
It's not going to be in Acrisure. It's going to be at the freaking the place across the river where the River Dogs play.
Oh my God. I love that the name of Mass's stadium is Warren McGurk Alumni Stadium.
McGurk.
Didn't we do this a little bit? Did we?
There's got to be a sporkle where we can name the stadium names, right?
Warren
There
McGurk.
There has to be.
That'd be good.
We will keep our eyes on the location for that
Yep.
Thanksgiving
Let's look.
weekend. Vote.
It's going to be between us and Brett McMurphy. Maybe we could contact the Con SID and say, "Hey, can you give us the scoop on this?" We've been talking about this since August 1st. Okay.
Whose SID was it? Saint whose SID was it that was literally like a
And
19
instead of McMurphy will come on, and that UConn Massachusetts game is going to be at.
All right. Take us home.
Take us home, please.
We're going home. We'll be back for week 0 because one of us has a game. We need to hammer down playoffs and Heisman. It's just a little tease.
And the Holy Try.
And Holy Try. We're going to do it all. Kent is going overseas across the pond. So we will circle back in 2+ weeks for week 0. Until then, hope you enjoyed this. I certainly did. From the AY, from the beautiful state capital, blue state, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Be my West, Dieberg.
Yeah, pretty high silliness quotient tonight. Liked it. Good night, all.
Good night.
There it is. And Can to my east, soon to be even further east.
Or west. If you go the other direction.
I usually use the cutoff in the Middle Pacific as far as the day goes. So
Okay.
you'll be ahead of us 5 hours or 6.
That will be.
Enjoy.
Thank
Have
you.
fun. I look forward to a random slide in the Twitter DMs.
Oh yeah, the classic overseas Kent checking in.
How to catch in. We'll see. This is August 1st. We'll see everyone 2.5 weeks. 3. We're in there. Take care. Have a good one.